the slump that you've been in the last couple of games, is there anything different that happened today? Are you back to having fun? I mean, what was different today's game than the last couple of you guys?
The energy.
I feel like it like Coach said earlier, it started in practice. Our energy was a lot better. We were more tuned in. And we knew that we needed to get a big win in Michigan, and we don't like losing in our house either. So we take a lot of pride playing at home, but behind the fan base.
Was it a week of practice? Was it one day of practice? Was that you felt the energy was up and that this could be a good game today for you guys?
Consecutive days, so 2, 3. We brought the energy back.
You notice that, Coach? I mean, did you see
Hey,
that?
Doug, you know what? Let me tell you something major. Because long story short is they did it all themselves. If they didn't step it up, then I don't have anything to do with it at the end of the day. Because they've never lost anything. They were always able to do that. And that should have happened at Maryland. It should have happened at Penn State. We didn't have to lose any of those games, and that's a fact. Okay? But young people make mistakes sometimes. Sometimes we get lost in ourselves. But they really, I think that it may have hit them that, you know what, guess what? Now we are in a heck of a jam. Our backs are seriously against the wall. Like Tyler said, we're here. I thought that everybody needed to do the things that we needed to do. For example, CC played an excellent defensive game and excellent point guard position. You know, and everybody stepped up, try to tune in more to what we needed to do to win. And I guess we got tired of losing, and we decided let's just play for each other, and they did. It was an outstanding game against an outstanding team, and very clearly we needed to win. There's no question about that. We had to win, and we're going to have to do that again to get the attention of the people like yourselves that are going to make a decision about whether or not we are invited to go to the NCAAs. And I know that this team has not lost anything. We lost our way. You know, we didn't know how to focus and finish this thing. But hopefully this is just an example of things to come. Because anybody that can play, as we did, extremely well when we played South Carolina, who was legitimately a top 10 team, with that high level of intensity, enthusiasm, and confidence that we played. It wasn't that we lost something, but we lost our ability to focus, and we forgot who we are. And I thought that most comments that people have been making today has everything to do with the defense that was outstanding. So we decided that we were going to reclaim that we're considered one of the top defensive teams in the country, and that was good to see.
So question for, first question for Coach. I want to highlight a particular moment that I think was, that in my opinion, I think is the turning point in the game. In the second quarter, Michigan was going on a run. They had the game tied. They briefly took the lead, and then you called timeout. And then after the timeout, you guys reclaimed the lead, and then, of course, CC with the 3 at the buzzer. So what did you tell them during the timeout, and how did they respond?
I thought we played. You can't let other people see your excitement and nervousness. We needed to execute. We wanted to get to the rim. We wanted to hit something to the inside, or for the guards to go on the attack, put the onus on the other team to force them to have to foul us. CC's extremely quick, and so that's what we want. In and out, get to the rim. The big girl will step off of that. CC can deliver that pass to the post person who's sliding behind them. You know, but we don't need to settle for threes, because every time that we decide to change places with the people that shoot, if there's a team that shoots the 3-point, anybody, you know who that is? It's Michigan. You know, Flaherty is considered one of the best 3-point shooters in the entire country. So we don't need to change places with her and decide that we're going to demonstrate that we're shooting a 3. We do what we do and do it well. And they do what they do. So we just need to stay in our own lanes, in our own role, and continue to do those things, because I think that while different people win in different ways, we are going to be most effective winning, playing great defense, staying on the attack, getting to the rim, recognizing other people, kicking it out, and then having shots in ranges that we're comfortable with. That's us, you know, and pushing it at a tempo, which is why I call it timeout. The first couple minutes, I was upset because we need to kick it up. If anybody can play fast and under control, it's us. But we start to slow it down, and we don't see those wings that are there. We need to put Michigan on their heels, not them putting us on the heels. We need to strike first, and we need to strike fast. And so I thought that maybe by doing that, we can kick that up and back these people down. And that's, I was real pleased with the way that worked out.
And for CC, I know, like, you guys had the momentum, final seconds, you get the ball, you take the shot, you hit it. How much did that feel for you to just cap off the half with such an exclamation point?
It definitely gave us a lot of momentum going into the second half. We was already confident from the beginning, but it gave us even more confidence. So, yeah.
And I guess a question for all of you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is your first win over a ranked team since 2015. I think so.
I don't know, but you're probably right.
I
We'll
was
take
wrong.
it. We'll take it. We'll take it.
So, like, how big is that? Especially after the losses to beat a ranked team, especially after your losses to other ranked teams and other unranked teams. Now, it's all finally come together after a lot of disheartening losses. How good does that feel?
You know what, you might not realize this, but Stacia did not even realize that they were ranked. I'm glad I didn't say anything about it. I swear. You know what, see, at this, you have to approach, as a coach, you approach your team several ways. One, you can challenge them to be better or to suggest that somebody else is better or thinks that they're better than everybody else. And then I'm used to teams that are like, oh, are you kidding me? It's like, oh, we're gonna show them. That's what I'm used to, okay? Then you could also have that team that is like, dang, wow, they're number 10, oh God, what are we gonna do about it? You know, that makes me nervous. So, but I wasn't sure of how, but I trusted that they're pretty good in looking at the internet and all that, so. And long story short is it really didn't matter what the number was. The only thing we as coaches want is them to give us everything that they possibly can, and we can handle winning and losing, but just do your best. And my thought is that we're good enough. If we just don't, you know, halfway go in it, we're good enough to play with the best teams in the country. But it doesn't look like that because I can't justify that to those of you who make decisions about whether or not we get invited. So it was important that they picked that up, and it was good to see.
All right. And CC, I think it's the first time this season you led the team in scoring, so obviously, how important does it feel for you to be such a big contributor in such a big win?
It's important because we got the win, so that's all that matters.
And I know you talked about the defense, especially with an offense as potent as Michigan. How exactly did you succeed? Like, what was the game plan coming in to stop Michigan's offense, and how did that play out during the game?
Let me ask you, I could ask you what you observed.
I saw a lot of turnovers. Especially.
There was a reason why that happened.
Yeah.
There was a reason why that happened. We're generally, actually, if you notice, we generally play 55.
Yeah.
Right? And the two major players for them was Flannery and who is it? Flannery and whoever. Is it Dunstan? Munger, those two.
Right.
So what we did is we face guarded them everywhere. They had a real rough time getting the ball, period. So that would be disruptive to everybody else because it would really stay in the flow. And we decided to play them in what we call a triangle into. Some people will say a junk defense. Then when they took her off, then we could go into a box and one. We've practiced it, but we haven't really practiced it extensively. But it can create some real problems. If you notice that most times when we're playing, they do that to Tyler. They'll face guard her, don't care about anybody else on our team. But in those instances, we have prepared patterns that allows her to still be a part of the offense. Doesn't completely shut her down, but we've got to bring other people to the game. And when we took her out, they left it alone. You know, they went back to the normal, and that's fine. That allows us to operate. The minute we bring her in, we've got problems because the players want to make the pass to her, and she gets frustrated. They're face guarding her, and if she's not going to be able to be free, then we either got to work harder and come up with other patterns that get her free. But we can't take her out of the offense and expect her or us to win. We can't win that way. And neither did they, and that's exactly what you saw happen.
Question from Natasha.
Hi, Swisha Peel. With this big game in the bag for the win, how do you guys prepare to suit up for Thursday's game against Ohio State? Because you guys definitely, since you needed this one, do you still believe you need that other win in the bag for you come Thursday around Ohio State?
We need all of them.
Yeah.
Keep it real. But you know what? I'm hoping that we get our rest. We have that mindset that, you know what? Guess what? We made it tough on ourselves, but we're ready. You know, we don't need anybody to help us. We are more than capable, not feeling sorry for ourselves, but capitalize and find a way to win, not an excuse to lose, because we are capable of doing that.
Yeah, defense and vigilance was very on point today. Very nice play by everybody on the team. Conversation was great, it looked as if, and just the unity of the team was solid today. So are you going to use that as a philosophy stepping into the next round of game day?
I hope so, because that's what we need. And the thing about it is we're all capable of that. As I was sharing with Caitlin, you know, there are 5 people that are top centers in the country, okay? And 2 of them are coming from the Big Ten. And she's dealt with them. She's dealt with a couple of them. And the question is, really, is she any less than those centers that are there in the country? Could she have averaged a double-double? Yes, she can. So, and that's where each person needs to not compare. They just need to be the best at what they do. For example, KK and CC, best at what you do. How many assist to turnover ratio do you have? You know what I mean? Because the defense is a given. We are playing the team game. Everybody's got to contribute in a big way in that respect. But when they measure a point guard, the point guard is measured not by the points that she may score, though it helps big time for the point guard to do that, but the assist to turnovers. How many assists did you get? Because you're able to be sufficient enough in your ability to score that they've got to play you. So that means you can dish off and make other people great. And they run the show. The point guard in that game that Purdue played the other night, it was a point guard that ran that show. The point guard controls everything, you know, the point guard is a matter of taste. It's just special for me. The shooters, that it's kind of obvious to see. When the shooters are the shooters, they find different ways to win. For example, today Tyler is averaging, like, generally she's a 21, 22 point performance, okay, and she's not scoring as well. But what was key for us to win is that she ended up getting 4 or 5 rebounds. Those 4 rebounds equal 8 points. She got 8 points that way. And if you look at the stat numbers, you're not seeing it that way. And when we buy into, okay, fine, maybe you're not hitting the shots as much as you would like, or maybe they're playing you a triangle and 2. What else can you do to help this team win, and still, you know, help that line, that stat line, and that's what she was able to do. So we're real pleased. I thought that we've been working on with Vicky this week on reverse pivoting. You know how she was taking that drive to the basket. Well, it makes us feel good because those are the drives that she was getting today. Same thing. So it tells me that we're focusing, and we'll continue to work. I thought that the guards did a great job of coming on the backside win, in particular when we were fronting the post. And I don't know who it was that just did a nice job of poking the ball out, but we were tuned in. It was good. It was a special moment. I'm really proud of the way we played today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For you, Curry. Who are you rooting for tonight?
Philadelphia.
Brady,
Yes,
the
go
Grady.
Birds.
Never go against
Philadelphia,
the GOAT.
baby. Philadelphia.
Tom Brady is one of the best to ever do it.
Philadelphia Eagles.
You going for Philly? Tom Brady, I'm with you. I'm with Tom.
Underdogs.
Philadelphia, I'm with you.
Tom.